I figured it was that time to start talking about my finance videos. I know my YouTube intro shows sports, finance, and life. My YouTube channel is pretty much a lot of basketball of my older boy playing, whether it's 3-on-3, 5-on-5, or my second grade East Valley Rebels team. I love recording, right? I love watching them. I love being able to have the memories. But when I want to get fired up is the finance part of my YouTube channel. Haven't done much with it. Maybe did a video here and there talking about some type of mutual fund or something. But today, what I have in store for you is talking about M1 Finance. So what I've put together is a dividend fund. I call it dual dividend, as you can see on here on the screen right up here. The plan for this is to, pick a bunch of funds, whether it's a stock or a mutual fund, and have a certain percentage in this fund that I'm going to be getting every single month, right? So whether it's monthly, quarterly, or yearly, I've picked out, I think, 22 different funds here, and I want to bring you along my journey of what I'm going to be doing. And you know what? I've always told people, you got to pay yourself first. Most people don't do that, right? We all work, whether you work a 8 to 5, a 9 to 5, whether you run a business, whether you get money from somewhere, right? Most people, 99% of people aren't paying themselves first. I hate to say 99% of the people aren't doing that, but it's the truth, right? You pay your power bill, pay the garbage man, pay your internet, right? Pay your cell phone. How about paying yourself first when you get that paycheck, right? Finance is difficult. They don't teach it in schools, right? They don't teach you about the stock market. They don't teach you, about credit cards. I mean, they really don't, unless you got a good math teacher that wants to talk about other things in life. But I'm pretty sure that's not part of the curriculum. So what I want to be able to do is educate people. If you want to get into dividend investing or just stocks itself, I'm going to be doing a lot of this stuff. I think I'm going to start off with doing maybe $500 to $1,000 a month invested into this portfolio. So for November, I'm going to stick $500 in here. And then I think what I'll do is, I don't want to just do a lump sum every month. I want to be able to do like $125 a week or $250 a week, whatever I decide. But I want to watch this grow, and I want to take you along the journey, along the good times and the bad times, right? But the whole point of this is to get dividends. And if you don't know what a dividend is where the company pays you a certain percentage every single month for owning that share of stock within that company. So, for example, let's say a company's going to pay you 4%, right? And a share costs $100. Well, for each share you have, they're going to give you $4 a year on that share, which means they'll give you, do the math, $1 a quarter if it pays out quarterly, or whatever that equates to every single month. You get paid in that in return. So what I'm going to be doing with my dividend, I'm going to reinvest that into the security, aka reinvest that into the stock or the mutual fund, and then see how it grows month after month. So this is a whole nother level of investing, right? And a lot of people that I know, whether it's friends or family, they're not doing it at all, and they probably never will, and that's okay. But I think everyone should, right? Pay yourself first. Another thing I want to mention is having money in the bank. Yeah, have a nest egg, right? Have 6 months of expenses. Have your birthday spending money, your partying money or whatever. Have a nest egg, right? That's okay. But don't have, $100,000 in the bank, right? Because then the bank doesn't really pay you much. 0.005% or whatever it is. It's so minute. Having 50K in the bank and they give you, $1.50 or 70 cents, it's just disgusting, right? People think, oh, I'm going to lose money in the stock market if I keep my money in here, and a bank is more safe. That's not always the case. So here, risk reward, right? If you're not willing to take a risk, you won't be rewarded. You're not going to lose your money in this thing unless you pick really high funds that just have a ridiculous, a 15 to 20% dividend return, and the stock just keeps plummeting, right? Some of these here that I have, which we'll go over here in a second, are, they're going to grow, and they've grown. I can show you charts, and they're going to pay a nice dividend. You're going to have some months where you're up, you're going to have some months where you're down, but in the long run, you're gonna win. If you look at the S&P 500, if you look at the stock market over the last 100 years, it's always went up little by little by little. So, you know, if you got a little bit of money to invest, whether it's $50 a month, $20 a month, $100 a month, $500 a month, you're doing this for the long term, right? You're not doing it just, oh, I'm gonna put my money here and then take it all out, right? I mean, you have to let your money work for itself, and this is a nice way to let your money work while you're sleeping, right? You put it in there, it does what it needs to do. You get a return every single month or quarterly or yearly, however that dividend pays, and then you go from there. So let's take a look at the portfolio that I've built here. Okay, so this is the M1 Finance that I'm going to be using to start this journey, and here I've picked out 22 funds, okay, and we'll go over every single one of these. I'm not trying to make a super long video, but just maybe we'll go over some of them, but I will name every single one of them, and then we'll go from there, right? So the first one in my portfolio is SCHD, which is a Schwab Dividend Equity ETF, okay? So if we look at the details, well, actually first, today's price, $71.54 a share, okay? It has a dividend yield of 3.67%, okay? Let's go to the details. So if we look at the last 5 years where this was, right? Back in, I can't believe we're in 23 already, almost 24, right? Time has went by quick, okay? So let's take a look at this. 5110, right? And then we all know what happened. You know, look, the fund is growing, growing, growing. And then boom, we know COVID happened in 2020. Everything went to hell in 2020. Everything, right? People lost jobs. Everyone was masked up. It was a crap show, okay? However, what happened to the market? It recovered, right? So people that saved their money and wanted to invest, you know, they had $10,000 or $10,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 or $5,000 or $500, right? They wait for stuff like this to happen. And then look, it just kept going up and up and up and up and up, right? So it went from, you know, about $40 to almost double your money. So if you would have invested in 2020 when COVID happened, 10 grand, all the way to November, you know, of 21, so a year and a half later or whatever, almost 2 years later, I mean, your 5,000 would have turned into 10,000, or your 10 would have turned into 20, right? Along with getting the dividend yield every single month, okay? So this is a very good fund, SCHD. A lot of investors have this fund. I mean, it also shows the top holdings, right? Broadcom, Amgen, PepsiCo, Home Depot, right? So I don't know if this has 50 funds in it or 30 funds in it, but it's a group of funds, right? And then it has an average of, you know, a 3.67 dividend yield. So this is the first stock that I picked in my portfolio. Let's go back here. So I'm going to show you actually. Let's go to the next one. JEPI, or JEPQ. This is another very popular one. Current trading price right now is $49.37. The dividend yield's almost 11%. Okay, that's very high, and it's very risky. However, I've studied this one. I've looked at it, right? And when I look at this fund here, and it pays you a 10.77 dividend yield. So let's do some quick math. If I put $100,000 into this fund, it's going to give me a little over, it should give me $10,777 a year, right? And if we divide that monthly, you know, do the math, okay? So the reason why I like this one here is because when it opened up, or, you know, if I, here in 22 or whatever that, let's see, 5 years, year to date, 5 years, right? So back here, 49 bucks, okay, May 5th of 2022. The stock went down to 45, really went down to 40. So literally, if I started with, you know, just one share, and I bought it at 49.21, here that share, I lost $9. I pretty much lost, you know, almost 20% or 10% or whatever the number is of the value of what this was. However, I'm looking at the high dividend yield, and look, the stock's recovered, and it's actually pretty much where it's at when it started. I really like this fund. This is a newer one. The other one is JEP. I think it's JEPI, JEPI. It's been around a lot longer. but I wanted to get in one that was kind of newer, kind of the same thing as the other one. And this has a high dividend yield. So if instead of having like 100,000 in your bank and you want to get some quick cash that month and you want to get 10, 11,000 bucks and then pay your taxes on it, this is a good fund just to throw it in there and then boom, pull it out. But you also risk month after month if your money's going to come down, right? So if you had 100 grand in here and you lost 2 grand or 3 grand within a month, I mean, that's going to hurt. But however, you'll make up the difference with that dividend yield. So, you know, there's a lot to look at when you look at this stuff here, okay? This shows you the top holdings in JEPQ. We got Microsoft, Google, Nvidia, Tesla, Adobe, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and Broadcom. These are stuff we use every single day. I mean, my computer has video cards in it. Everyone's using Google. Microsoft's, you know, the king, okay? Tesla, Tesla's not even a car company. People think they're a car company. They're a technology company. Now I'm going on a rant, right? But anyways, hey, this is what I have in this one here. Okay, let's go to the next one. In this dividend portfolio that I've created, okay? We got Vanguard. This is the S&P 500. It's the top 500 ETFs that are in this fund. This is a really good one, right? Price is expensive, $418 a share. Small dividend yield, right? But if we look at VOO details over the last 5 years, right? This is back in 18. You know, it went down a little bit. It's always climbing. Check this out, right? Look at my screen. Boom, COVID happened and went down, but look what happened. Man, just going up and up and up and up, right? This is a growth stock for the most. This is a growth mutual fund. It's not even a stock. It's a mutual fund. A mutual fund is a collection of funds that make up the fund, right? So this has 500 funds in it, okay? And for me, that's a small cap fund, right? This is terminology you'll have to learn if you want to start investing and learning about this stuff, okay? But then it's been going back down, right? Which it will here, and then look, it's recovered, okay, for the most part. But funds are always going up. I mean, it's great. Small dividend yield. We can come down here and we can look. The top holdings are here, right? All right, let's go back. Let's take a look at the next one that I'm gonna do. Let's look at Coca-Cola. And you know, I've allocated these, before I talk about Coca-Cola, I've allocated these 10% into SEHG, JEPI 8%, VOO 7%. Your pie on M1 Finance has to equate to 100%. If it doesn't, then you have to reallocate percentages, right? So my fund didn't have, when I started this a while ago, when I made this fund, I've been developing this pie for months, right? Researching who do I want in my team? Who do I want in my dividend team, right? What companies do I want to put my money in that's going to pay me back month over month, right? Well, DuPont is a company that bought one of my companies out, okay, for a ton of money. And so I'm putting a little bit in there, but what I've done was I've allocated 10% to SCHD, 8% to JEPQ, 7% to VOO, 5% to RITM, which is a real estate company. Vanguard, I've done 5%. So I've kind of just put how I want my money to be spread out, okay? So what I'm going to do today, and I'll get to that here shortly, is I'll deposit $500 into this fund. And then tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m., because I haven't unlocked M1 Plus, which is like $100 a year, it allows you to have 2 trading windows. At 6:30 a.m., that $500, when I'm ready to trade, it's going to purchase everything here. And it's going to put $50 into here, you know, because 10% of 500 is $50, okay? Did I do my math right? Maybe, maybe not. But anyways, so it's going to divvy up all this money here, okay, into this. The next fund that I really like is Coca-Cola, right? Coca-Cola's been around for a long time. When you think of Coca-Cola, people just think of the red pop can. However, Coca-Cola probably owns 50 companies, okay, within it, okay? And so let's take a look at this one. This is trading at $58.58 a share today, right? Let's look at the details. Let's look at the last 5 years, because this is all that M1 Finance allows me to look at. Oh, also, the dividend yield is 3.11%. It's pretty good, okay? So we look at the last 5 years. Back in 2018, $48.98 a share, okay? Went up, COVID happened, went down, and then look, it's just growing and growing and growing. Something happened here, right? went down, but it's still, that was its peak at one point, 60 bucks. It's broken that peak, and then it's gone down. It's back almost to 60 bucks, right? But if you look at Coca-Cola over the last, I don't know, 30 years, 40 years, let's see. Let's check out Yahoo Finance, right? Let's look at the max for here, actually. When Coca-Cola came out, it was $1.18. $1.18 a share. I didn't even exist at that time. So 1983, $1.18. Let's look at 1993, $9.69. Let's do 10 years later, 2003. What's it at? $20.72, right? So you've 20x'd your money if you waited 20 years. From 83 to 2003. You've 20x'd your money, okay? And getting dividend. You're getting your dividend every single month, okay? Now, you know, it's a slow, steady growth. But if you look over time, it's always went up, right? Investing is a marathon. Getting good at something is a marathon. Practice makes perfect. Everything in time, especially with investing. So back to here, okay? So let's get down to business, okay? I'm pretty much showing you what I have here. So Pfizer, right? Medical company, pills. We got Pepsi, DuPont, they're a chemical company. Waste Management, guess what? That's a huge company. Garbage guy picks your guy up every day, right? That's not going anywhere, okay? Verizon's been around. Kraft Heinz, man, let me tell you something. I do business with them, actually, with my business, with some of their businesses today, okay? Kraft Heinz, huge company, not going anywhere. Realty Income Corp, not going anywhere. Procter & Gamble, guess what? That's your soaps, you name it, medical stuff. I mean, it's everywhere, right? JEPI, I do have it on here, okay, but I only have it at 4%. JP Morgan, right? Everyone knows Chase, right? This is probably the or one of the biggest banks in the world, okay? Johnson & Johnson, they have 100 items under their belt. Maybe they have 1,000 items under their belt, right? Intel's a good one, right? Computer chips, okay? I added a Fidelity high dividend ETF on here. Enbridge, Coca-Cola, Altria Group, AbbVie, VTI, right? So here's my fund. I have 22, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I have 22 funds in my pie. Eventually, I'm going to have about 25, and I'm just going to, I think that's where I'm going to stay. Maybe I'll add 30, but I want to really see what this portfolio does for dividend investing. So, you know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer some money in here. Let's see, one-time cash transfer. I'm going to select this dividend account. I was going to do a Roth IRA on here, but my household income is too much to be able to do it. So what I have to do, long story short, a Roth IRA for a family, you can do, what is that, I think $6,500 or $7,500, something like that a year, and it grows tax-free. But because our income's too high, I'm not allowed to do it. So what I have to do is do a traditional Roth, backdoor it, and then convert it into a Roth where it's just a loophole with the IRS system to where I can still grow tax-free on X amount of dollars, right? So if you're not doing that, look up Roth IRA and start doing that, okay? So let's see here. Let's go to Celerity and then dual dividends, and we're going to do $500, okay? Continue and confirm. Let's see if, boom, pending transfer. Okay, done. Yep. So current cash balance shows $500. It's instant. I'm already set up, okay? So what I'm going to do is click buy, and I want to do, let me go back here real quick. I don't want to do this too quick. So once you have your buying power on here, okay, and you have your current cash balance, right? When you first do it, it should be that simple. Maybe they may make you wait a day because you have to verify your bank, right? A day or two, they'll deposit some change in there, and then you'll be able to do it. So from here, what I want to do is go to buy, okay, and then I want to do 500, and it's going to do the purchase tomorrow morning at 6:30. I don't have to do anything else after that. Confirm buy, done, right? Buy order placed. We'll execute it for you during the morning trade window. Now, if I will sign up for M1 Plus, because if I say I decide, oh, I'm going to miss this window, I didn't put any money in here to be able to purchase any of these funds, I'll be able to do it it'll purchase it at 12 that afternoon. So if I'm lazy and not doing it that night, the next morning, if I miss my trade window, I can do it again and then go from there. So the next video I'm going to do is to give you guys an update of what happens with the purchase once this is in here. So if I get time, I'll do one tomorrow and I'll share my journey with you guys. So this is M1 Finance. I advise you use this one. I have a pretty heavy portfolio with Fidelity as well. I've been trading on there for a very long time and buying different funds, and I've built up a pretty nice portfolio there. But and that's more for growth is what I've used that one for. This one here for M1 Finance, I want to keep it strictly for my dividend investing journey and kind of share it with you guys and whoever's following and whoever wants to watch this video. So enjoy the journey with me. Happy to be very transparent and open about this, and hey, we'll go from there. If you liked the video, got any questions, leave a comment below, like and subscribe, and until next time, thank you so much. Have a good day.